Hi, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me? Make sure my mic is on. Oh, good, good, good. All right. Let me make sure that it's good. Do you guys hear the cracking sound? Let me see. Let me turn my volume up on my. Yes, I still hear it. All right, Kimberly, nice to have you on. Kay, nice to have you on. All right, let me turn the volume off my phone. How's everybody doing? Tell me what you are drinking. Start the evening off correct. Let me know what you guys are drinking as you are watching this today. What are you have in your cup? I have water. I have not drank my daily intake of water, so I am drinking water. Although this is pretty late for me. I'm getting kind of old, so the later I drink means the longer I'll be up tonight in the bathroom getting it all out. Sweet tea. I had a cup of tea. I had some tea from whose tea did I have the other day? Man, I drank that thing so fast. It was so good. It was it Chick-fil-A? No, it was Cane's. It was Cane's. I had an Arnold Palmer, and it was like the best sweet tea lemonade combination I had in a long time. Maybe want to go back and buy the gallon. You guys ever buy gallons from fast food places? They're like, I don't know, $7 for a gallon of tea. It's ridiculous. Pure Leaf, that's the brand. I haven't made sweet tea in my house in years. My son was into that a couple of years ago. He hasn't made it either. But I don't know. I may have to do that because that tea was really good. Hot peach tea with lemon. Yeah, I had some ginger mango tea the other day. I was drinking that like every day last week, and that was so good. I have a hard time saying that, Kimberly. Arnold Palmer. Just gutturally has a hard time coming out in my voice. Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer. That's a lot. All right, ladies and ladies, no guys have joined us, but if any guys do watch this in the replay, welcome, welcome. I am super glad that you guys are here today with me live. What's the weather like where you guys are? I'm in Texas and it's been storming the last 2 days. So my right ear is all plugged up now. Yes, say that like 3 times. Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer. It's a hard thing for me to say. Um, all right. What's the weather like? It is stormy. It is not storming now, but there must be something because like this whole side of my face is just just my ear needs to pop and it's all congested. I'm not congested, but it hurts now. The men are here. Hey, Kyle, nice to have you on. Like to have the guys show up. That's great. We have got a lot of new fellas in our group, ladies, so we'll have to give them some love and say hey, because men want to have successful travel businesses too, don't they? So 97 in Augusta, Georgia. Yes. Hopefully let me just say a shout out to all those people in Louisiana who were impacted by last week's storm. I hope that you all are recovering well. I don't know of anybody who has power still out, but I hope that everyone who was impacted by Laura, because Marco came in, but Laura came in with a vengeance. So it's always the girls who've got an attitude, right? Coming in. So hopefully everyone in Louisiana is doing okay. Hot and humid. That is exactly the way it is here in Texas. I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I stepped out to get lunch and it was like a sauna. And now, my ear is all, I don't know what to call it, but it feels like it's got something in it, like it needs to pop or something. Alabama hot. All right, so we've got a good enough people for us to get started. Today is another hot topic, but you know what? I don't think I do any warm topics. I don't think I do any topics that are just sort of neutral. They're all hot in everybody's minds. And I picked them up from, what's showing up in my inbox or what you guys are talking about. So, what did you just say? Wow. Yep. Vibe Rides is. I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell me what that is. I'm in Chicago. It's 80 here. Okay, so it's September, so we're officially out of the hot season here in Texas. Like Texas, the hottest month in the year is August, and I've spent most of this summer indoors due to COVID, and just because I don't normally go a lot outside when it's really hot. But it's over for you guys. Let me just before I jump into today's topic, right? Is like, do you have a time of the year that once you hit that time of the year, like the rest of the year is just like it's over? Like, what time of the year is that for you? For me, it's August. Once I hit August, and I have been saying this as long as I can remember, particularly since I've been married. Once I hit August, the rest of the year flies by because we go from my husband and I's anniversary, we go straight into his birthday in September, and then we go into the holidays. So we go October. I've got 2 kids' birthdays in November. We've got Thanksgiving and then Christmas, and the year's over, right? So I'm in the downslide of 2020. So I don't know about you guys, but I am in the downslide of 2020. So I am definitely looking forward to saying goodbye to 2020. Although I would have to say for me and let's say refocusing my energy, my drive and everything during COVID, it has allowed me to do that, right? So I've been able to get healthier mentally, physically, and just, business wise, all of that has happened. And I think it's as a result of COVID because, I was forced to slow down. I was forced to be in the house and do things that I probably wouldn't normally do. So we've gotten a lot of stuff done personally, my husband and I. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm thankful for where I am in my business and the opportunity to help so many of you as I've been able to in the last quarter. So, although COVID has been kind of painful, like not kind of, it's been really painful. I'm thankful for this experience to have the time to work on the things that obviously God said I needed to because I'm doing it, right? So, many people have said this, and so this will certainly be me repeating what a lot of people have said already, which is, try and find the opportunity to be grateful no matter what your situation is. And so, 2020 was not what I had planned it to be at all. Like no stretch of the imagination, right? This was the year of travel for me. Like I'm talking like personally, we were supposed to be on a trip every quarter. We were supposed to be traveling either as a family or as a couple every single quarter this year. And so that did not happen. But I think that we have grown a lot as a family as a result of being together, right? I don't know that my boys may agree, but I feel like I'm a little bit closer to them than I was before. Although my youngest one refuses to get his hair cut. So I'm hoping his dad cuts his hair. So he's got like this big afro of matted sort of locking thing. That's probably the only thing I regret out of 2020 is his hair. Anyway, with that, let's talk about what we've got going on. So some people are saying bye-bye to 2020. Yes, you're ready to let it go. So September for you, that's right. Spring for you. So once you hit spring, it's all over. That's right. So it's August for me. So I am on the downslide of this. I'm gonna look up. It's going to be 2021, and we will be doing some other themes. So this year's theme for me was bold and fearless, right? And who knew that it would be bold and bold and fearless for the virus, right? That's what became bold and fearless this year was the virus. But so every year I come up with a theme. And so this month is my theme determination month. I cannot find it. So somebody told me the feature. So that is Tanya asking for closed caption. Is there anyone out there in the, let's see if it's in settings. Hold on, please hold, because I do want to make sure that this happens. Audio. Let's see. A way for me to turn on. I could not find the feature in StreamYard to turn on closed captions. Does anyone know how to do that? Because I would even be willing to stop and restart if anyone knows how to do that. And I couldn't. There is the ability. You know what? Hold on. Let me see. Tanya, I can't determine how to do that now. I know she can't hear me, but if somebody could write in the chat that I will ask her if she could go to, there is a member in our group who is deaf and she needs closed captioning on. I am also broadcasting on YouTube. If you could type in the comments to have her go to my YouTube channel, and there should be the ability to see it in closed caption in my YouTube channel. If somebody could type that or tag her, her name is Tanya. She is in and she just replied. I would really greatly appreciate that. YouTube channel, I'm broadcasting live there. And I know that there's closed caption on the YouTube channel. Inside of our Facebook group, there is not an ability for me to turn it on. I have to upload it afterwards. So that's what it is. That's a constraint of Facebook groups. The business page has it, but Facebook groups does not. Okay, so with that, what I'm going to say is it makes me sad that I can't address this, but I will have to address this offline. So today's topic is a hot topic, and it is all about monetizing your Facebook group. So what I want you to do is type a 1 if any of this stuff is what you're doing currently, you're thinking about it, and this is stuff that you are going through, right? You're in other people's Facebook groups, right, that are not yours, right? Hoping to find clients because you've heard that you need to be in Facebook groups, right? So type a 1 if you are in someone else's Facebook groups, you know, and I dare not say trolling, but you're in other people's Facebook groups looking for clients that are your ideal clients, right? You've joined those groups and you are like, I'm in here. I am in here to win it. And I am the travel agent of your choice. And I'm here to be here with you, right? If you're in other people's Facebook groups looking to promote your services and products, type a 1, right? I also want you to type a 1 if you are in your personal page, let's say promoting packages, right? You get emails from our suppliers and you are posting packages and you're posting and you're posting away these packages, right? You got, like, I don't know if you guys saw, but let me just tell you what I saw that I am totally taking advantage of, right? So Travel Express has did this inside of their group a couple of weeks ago, where it's 14 days. Royalton Resorts is doing workations starting at $900, all inclusive per person, not for 14 days, right? Right? Like, are you guys promoting that kind of stuff? Like, you're on your personal page, you're on in groups, you're doing all that stuff, right? That's what you're doing, right? Okay, type of 1. If you are in your own group, you have your own Facebook group, and you feel like you are a slave to that group and there's nothing going on, right? You are posting and nobody's interacting with you, and it's just like crickets in there. You know, crickets are not silent, so I don't know why people say like crickets. Crickets are noisy. Like, aren't those the little insects that make all that noise at night? So I don't know what another, you know, it's silent as a turtle. I don't know. But, you know, the idea is that you were in your own group and you were just doing that. And there's not a lot of activity going on, right? You get one or two people who are responding. It's probably the same 1 or 2 people that have been responding to your stuff. And that's you, right? There's a lot of 1s. You guys are posting a lot of 1s, right? Okay, so I got people who are working on, can you check it out? Like, check it out. Royalton Resorts, Vacation Express, 14 days, because they want you to, you know, isolate when you get there. 14 days, $900 for 14 days, all inclusive, includes drinks, and it's from now until February. Like, that's the bomb.com. Like, somehow, you know, I'm going. And they also have, like, if you've got kids that need, you can like do, you know, they've got kid things for the kids to do their schoolwork and all that other stuff. Anyway, that's just like the, I don't know, the deal of the century that I've heard so far, right? So anywho, all right, so one more, does it sound like you? You don't have a system. So let's say you do get some response, right? You get some responses from these groups you're in and maybe your own group, but you don't really have a system to track your success, right? You don't really offer, you don't have any sort of consistent offer that you provide. It's sort of these packages that you're doing on the fly. You don't know when you're going to do them. You don't know how to predict if you're going to make money. You don't know any of that, right? If that any of that sounds like your situation of what's going on, I want you to type a one, right? And I want all of you all who are watching now, and if you watch in the replay, to see all the ones, right? What does this mean to you? Well, this is what we're going to talk about today, right? So, but before we get started, what I want to say is thank you for joining me. If you are new to me today and you haven't seen me live, my name is Sunday Gardner. I am your online travel boss. I come to you every single Wednesday talking about launching, marketing, or operating a successful travel business, because that is what I want for you. And what I will want to say is, again, thank you for joining me live. If you are not new to me, for those who come regularly and join me with their drink in hand on Wednesday night, thank you for joining me again. So tonight's topic is how to monetize your own Facebook group, right? So to have an engaged Facebook group that you're making money in, right? And so I'm not going to say you're becoming a millionaire making inside of this Facebook group, but that you're actually getting some sort of results and the engagement and the money that you so desire, and that you're not having to go all of these different places. Who would like that? Who would like a Facebook group of their own, a community of people that represent who they want it to be? Who would like that? Type me if that would be you. Would you like to have your own Facebook group that has your people in it, the people that you attracted, right, with your offers that you are speaking to? Would you like that, instead of having to be in everyone else's Facebook group, hoping that the people that are in that group are your people, right? And I'll use this poor group as an example. And I shouldn't say poor because it's got like hundreds of thousands of people, right? It's the Women's Entrepreneur Group. How many of you guys have heard of that Women's Entrepreneur Group? How many of you are in that Women's Entrepreneur Group, right? How many of you are in there? Right now, I can't say me because I don't know if it's me that you want your own community, or if you're in that women's group, right? So this women's group, I mean, she literally has like 300,000. I haven't been in the group in a long time, but I went in there last year because somebody like tagged me in the group, like one of my colleagues, business bestie, I don't remember who tagged me, and she was like, Sunday, you need to come inside of that group, right? And so I go in the group, and and the reason she tells me I should go in the group, because she's like, there's a bunch of travel agents in the group. You probably could get some people inside of the group who need your help, right? And I was like, okay, that's great. And then I realized what she was talking about, because what happens is somebody will post inside of that group. They'll say, I need X something about a destination or something. And out of the woodwork comes like all of these responses to that poor person's post, right? So there are so many travel agents in that group, right? And what that told me last year, what it continues to tell me, because I'm in a lot of other different groups, and I see the same thing. People will ask, people will have in their group, let's share the love, and post what your business is, right? And so I'll look to see what kind of businesses people are posting. A lot of them are travel agents, right? So a lot of them are travel professionals, right? And you're doing what all of us hope to do, which is to grab some of that clientele, right, and make it your own. But wouldn't it be nice if you could do it yourself, right? You could grow a group that had all of the clientele that you wanted inside of it. Wouldn't it be great to do that? Well, you can, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we even do that, let's talk about why Facebook group. Why not just do it on your business page? Why not just continue to do it on your Facebook page, on your personal Facebook page? Many of you guys as host agencies recommend that you do it on your Facebook business page. Personal page, right? Post information about your packages on your personal page, and that should be sufficient, right? That will be what you need, right? Or post it on your business page and maybe boost on your business page, and that will be sufficient, right? And the reality is those are okay strategies, but those are not long-term scalable strategies. And let's talk about why. Why do I say Facebook group over business page, personal page, or any other Facebook feature that exists out there? And so let me tell you why. The first thing is your Facebook, the way that Zuckerberg works, and this is the word that I have a really hard time saying, is Facebook is a pay for play platform. I always laugh when I say that because I really have a hard time saying that fast. It's a pay to play. That's what I need to do. Add the two. It's a pay to play platform. If you want to play in the Facebook, you need to open up your wallet and spend dollars, period. Right now, I'm okay with spending dollars if I know that for every dollar that I get, that I'm going to get a return on investment. Right. And so when you show up to the Facebook game, you need to know, like you ever heard of, you don't show up to a gunfight with a knife, right? Don't show up to a gunfight with a knife, right? Show up with a gun that's bigger and badder than the gun of your competitors, right? And most of you guys are showing up with knives and your competitors are shooting, right? That's what you need to be doing. You need to learn how to shoot. So this is what today's topic is about, is learning how to shoot and utilizing Facebook. I am on the phone, right? Because part of my sales process is to get on the phone and talk to you all to find out where you are in your business, right? It proves to be amazing market research for me to get on the phone with the number of people that I talk to weekly, right? So in chat, in person, I'm talking to at least between 20 to 50 people a week in the space, new people I've never met who are similarly in the same spot, right? And the number one problem that most of you have is you cannot get clients, right? Or you're new to the business and you don't know where to start. So we are going to focus on the getting client issue that most of you have, right? So your host agency, or you heard it somewhere, you read it somewhere that you need to be posting on social media and you think that's the way to go. But somebody typed in algorithm, right? And that is exactly what Zuckerberg has. And what all algorithm is a fancy term of a lot of code out there to prevent you from trying to get around the fact that you need to pay him to play on his platform, period, right? So that's what he's got, is a whole bunch of code designed for you not to get around the fact that if you want to play in his platform, you need to pay. Right? You need to pay him as a business owner. So don't try and sneak around on your business page, on your personal page, and try and circumvent the fact that you need to pay, right? So just get that through your head. If you want to be on Facebook and be successful, be prepared to pay. Now, the problem with paying is he will take your money all the time, every single day, if you don't know what you're doing when you're paying, right? So you have to be strategic and you have to be smart when you're on Facebook and using it as your marketing platform. Does everybody understand that? Give me some love if you understand that. So let me tell you why Facebook group is the way to go and is the bomb.com. Facebook group, Mark Zuckerberg, even in last year's conference, I was watching it, and he said he is committed to growing that platform, investing in that platform. That is his go-to platform. Behind video, that is the number one, number two objective in his vision for his platform, is to grow groups, right? That's where it's at. Communities is where it's at. So if you don't have your own community and you're not growing that community full of the people that want to hear from you, you're missing out on an amazing opportunity to connect with your ideal audience, right? So Facebook is committed to growing the platform. It's committed to investing dollars into features for Facebook groups. And if you guys haven't noticed, there's a new look and feel that is now Facebook, right? Maybe some of you guys have opted in. Maybe some of you guys are oblivious to it, right? So he's redesigned the entire application, right? And as of this month, I don't think you can turn back off and go back to the old version once you convert over to the new version. But I say all of that to say is the number one reason why you should be having your own community is that it provides you instant access to your ideal client as an authority, right? You get to show up in that community, not only through video, but you also get access through the way that he has designed groups to be, to get your message out there without having to pay for it. Right. So if people opt into your group, they come into your group, your message has a higher probability of being seen without spending any dollars once they're in your group. Does that make sense? Right. So you are an instant authority once you show up in that fashion inside of your group. Right. Just as powerful, if not more powerful than email marketing. Right. So I remember when I started with Facebook groups, I found out about Facebook groups in 2015. I want to say 2015. So it's almost been 6 years. I've been playing in Facebook groups. So I've had a group, some form of fashion. I've had a group since 2015. And, my story is simple, right? I came into the online space in 2014. I hired a Facebook advertising agency to help me grow my exposure. And the first thing that they taught me was to get a group, right? That was in 2015. Right. So that was 5 years ago. Is that right? Am I doing the math right, ladies and gentlemen? Is that 5 years? Yes. 5 plus 5 is 2020. So 5 years ago, I've had a group since then. Right. And back then she told me to grow my group through Facebook ads. And that's what I did. Grew my group like that. Right. I went from zero, like nobody. I think I had my mom in the group originally, grew through ads 50, in months, less than months. Right. Right. Difference is the strategy that I'm going to talk to you about today is not the strategy I had in 2015. So what I didn't have is the engagement strategy and the promotion strategy that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. All right. So number 2 reason why that you should have a Facebook group is because that's where you don't have to pay for it. Once you get your members in the group and they're in the group, you don't have to pay anymore to get your message heard. Right. You guys are showing up. Why? Because you saw a post, right? Right? You saw a post, you probably got a messenger, you probably got an email from me, right? That reminded you that you needed to get, but I didn't have to pay for you to see that post. I didn't have to do anything extra. I mean, there's a few things I did extra, but I didn't have to spend any more dollars for you to do that. Now, that's the flip side on your business page. You post on your business page and you could have 10,000 people who are following you on your business page. And if you don't boost that post, only 8 to 10% of your follower base will see it for free. 8 to 10%. So it doesn't matter how large your following is inside of your business page. If you do not boost it, which is pay to boost to get it to be seen, only 8 to 10% will see it organically, right? If you don't have a large following, that means a very small percentage of the people will see your business post unless you boost it, right? That sucks, right? But it's a pay to play platform, right? So you got to know that, right? So you got to know that. So I'm not saying you shouldn't post on your business page, but really, literally, I now only use my business page to advertise. Its only purpose is for me to have my ad account, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 reason why you want to utilize your Facebook group is because you control it. You control it as much as you control any other asset on social media that is underneath your name. Meaning you can control who comes in, you can control the content, you can kick people out who don't adhere to your rules, you can control the messaging and the delivery of that message. You can control it, right? Now, as long as you abide by the rules, right? And again, it doesn't cost you anything to control the messaging and what's going on in your Facebook group. You get to do that all for free because Facebook wants you to have groups, right? So he has done, sorry, I was closing some automatic things and I got lost. So that what Zuckerberg has done is he's given us admins a unique ability to be able to have these powerful tools. And right now you don't have to pay to communicate in those tools, right? So those are 3 reasons why you should have a Facebook group. But do you want to talk about how do you monetize your group, right? How do you take that power and actually make money out of it, right? So somebody wrote, it takes money to make money. That's right, it does. It takes money to make money. But the thing is that I want you to spend your money strategically, right? If you don't know what you're doing with Facebook ads, and I've spent I looked at, just this month past, I spent $3,200 in Facebook ads. And that's not even the max that I need to be spending, right? I need to be getting to a certain amount to get the certain number of members in my group every day, right? So $3,200 in Facebook ads, that's little, right? My coaches are spending $3,200 a day on Facebook ads, right? So, I've got some catching up to do based on the goals that I'm trying to hit, right? But you want to be strategic about how you do it. Not only do you want to be strategic, you want to have the knowledge so that you do it properly, right? Because Facebook will do one thing I can guarantee you is he will take your money, and he doesn't care if you get results. He doesn't care if you hit your goals or not. He's going to take your money, right? So you can be boosting all day and you're wondering, why am I not getting anybody, buying my packages? Is because boosting is not intended to do that. I'll tell people every day, and have been saying it since 2016, that boosting is only designed to get likes. That is the type of ad it is. But there's about 15 different types of ads in the Facebook Ads Manager, right? You've got to know which one to pick in order to be successful, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's talk about who is ready to talk about the power. So we talked about the power of Facebook group. We talked about why you should do Facebook group. Let's talk about my strategy on monetizing Facebook groups. I did a class on monetizing Facebook groups, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, right? I still have it in my class, in my back office, right? How to monetize your group. I mean, I've literally been talking about groups since 2015, but not as strongly as I'm about to now, right? Because I actually got an email, and somebody is selling a Facebook group, Facebook group for travel agents, right? I think it's for $97. And I thought, oh crap, right? I wonder if my members understand what I do versus what they see here, right? Because we have an entire program around that sales funnel and how you do that. And it's certainly not $97, right? So the question becomes, right, I wanted to say, well, does my group understand, like, what are you getting in a masterclass versus what are you getting in my program, right? Do they even understand my strategy, right? So I thought, well, I probably ought to talk about it so that there's no confusion, right? Because you're going to see people, right? Because Facebook groups is hot, right? It's like the hottest thing, right? So why should I invest in a program that's going to actually help me build it out versus some $97 product that's going to tell me all about the same thing that you're going to tell me about Sunday, right? So let's talk about that, right? You guys ready? I got some okay, so let's do it. All right. So the first thing that, in terms of my strategy is pretty simple, right? You've heard it before, but I'm going to spin it a different way so that you can hear it again, because sometimes we got to hear things multiple times for us to get it. So the first thing is your Facebook group. Most of you guys have Facebook groups around nothing. You don't have it around a niche. You don't have it around anything. It's probably the same name as your travel business. And, when people see it, right, because, Zuckerberg is nice. And if you got a few people in your group, he's going to organically recommend it. But when they see the name of your group, they're like, what is that? That's so-and-so's travel business. So what, right? How is it any different than so-and-so's other travel business, right? I've talked to several people, and you guys have groups, and they're budget groups, right? Budget deals to Las Vegas or budget deals to Havana. I don't care. Fill in the blank destination, right? I keep telling you, why are you trying to compete with Expedia? Why are you trying to compete with, Google.com on budget? I don't want to be known as the budget dealer. Do you? Right? It's so funny because I'll talk to somebody and they'll tell me, hey, I've got a budget site, a budget group, and then, all-inclusive vacation packages. And who said that? Because, I'm kind of frank and like to the point. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm like, so what? So what? You've got inclusive vacation deals. You're no different than Google.com's inclusive vacation deals. Why would I click on your inclusive vacation deals versus so-and-so's inclusive vacation packages, right? Why would I do that? Ask yourself that. Do you have a reason why they should click on your all-inclusive vacation packages if by chance Facebook were to organically recommend your group to somebody? What is that telling me? It doesn't tell me who you service. It doesn't tell me anything about you. It's not around a specific niche, because I know erroneously you probably think that all-inclusive vacation packages is a niche, but it really isn't, right? It's just a type of travel and everybody's selling it. So my strategy, number one, is attract people around a specific niche, right? Does that make sense? You guys, this is probably one of the hardest concepts for people to grapple with, is this concept of niche, right? So when I ask people, do they have a niche? What they tell me is they have a type of travel, or they specialize in a destination, right? If you tell me you specialize in the Caribbean, do you know how many countries are in the Caribbean? That's a lot of countries, right? I didn't even realize how big the Caribbean was until I went to a travel show last year and they had a map of the Caribbean. And I was like, shit, I thought the Caribbean was like Jamaica and the Dominican Republic and maybe some part of Mexico. But there are like a lot of countries in the Caribbean, right? You specializing in the Caribbean is not really a specialty. I mean, it could be, but it's better than saying I specialize in the world, but it still isn't a specialty. It doesn't tell me the kind of client you like, the kind of clients you work with, right? It doesn't tell me that. It doesn't tell me who your audience is. It doesn't tell me why I should click on you versus the other group, or just go to Expedia.com and look for all-inclusive vacation packages. Expedia.com has millions of marketing dollars to make sure that they get in front of every single body who wants an all-inclusive vacation package. Do you have millions of marketing dollars? If the answer to that question is no, then you need to be more specific, right? I cannot stress this enough. I come every single week telling you guys the same thing. You need a niche that is around an audience, that is around a specific as you possibly can get, right? And let me give you an example, right? I am a business coach. I'm not a business coach for everybody. Who am I a business coach for, right? So when people see me, right, what do they see? I'm a business coach for travel professionals, right? Who is my audience? It's travel professionals. It's people who are already travel professionals or want to be travel professionals. I'd rather you have a group called All-Inclusive Vacation Packages for Senior Citizens, right? Retired military people. That's a niche. Does that make sense, right? Does that give you a good example of how you can make that very specific, right? So when I'm a senior citizen about to retire and I see that group, I'm like, that group's for me. I'm about to retire. And maybe I don't equate myself. I don't think I'm ever going to equate myself to a senior citizen, but just in case I did, I would know that that was about me, right? I don't know that it's about me. All-inclusive vacation packages. Maybe if I don't have anything to do, I'm going to click on it, right? But I'm certainly going to click on something that says Black women professionals who are over, who are super stressed, who need to relax. That would be totally something I'd click on, right? Because I'm a Black professional woman who needs to totally relax, right? You get it? Does that make sense? All right. Some people are saying that makes sense. So my number one part of the strategy is to build that group around specificity. Right? Another word I have a difficult time pronouncing, but specificity, right? Specific so that it's clear that when somebody sees it, they know exactly that it's for them. There's no ambiguity there, right? So that's number one. Attraction, right? So you guys, some of you guys are familiar with my ARC system. So I'm going to turn this ARC around so you get it. So you need to attract people inside your group that are around your niche, right? Can you guys say attract? Somebody write attract. Right. Number two part of the strategy. You guys, you ready? All right. And this, if I had to say anything that I could have done better over the 5 years of having a group, is this part, is relate to the people that you attract into your group strategically with specific purpose. That's a lot. I want that to marinate with you guys, right? Relate to the people inside of your group strategically and with specific purpose, right? Now, I'm going to just be quiet for a second and take a little bit of drink. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that, Sunday, strategically? Everything I do has got purpose. Like, everything is strategic. I'm giving them tips. I'm giving them trips. I'm giving them quotes. I'm giving them pictures. I'm giving them, video. I'm doing all this stuff, right? The problem is that you probably don't have a group that's around a particular niche, right? So let's say I got a senior citizen, retirement group, all inclusive, right? For solo travelers, right? I'm just picking something, right? That's one of my clients' groups, right? Right. Am I talking about spring break in that group? Probably not. Right. Am I talking about, I'm probably talking about grandchildren in that group, right? Or, grandnieces, grandnephews, and all that stuff I'm talking about in that group, right? Without the niche, there's no specificity in your content, right? You probably are throwing up too much content and people are getting stuff for free for you, and there's no reason for them to use you or buy because you're giving them everything for free. You're not, there's no sense of urgency in your purchases. Or your promotions. There's probably there's no thought about leading up to anticipation in terms of what it is that you're about to sell. You're probably selling too much. There's all sorts of things that you're probably not doing right inside of that group when it comes to content, right? I absolutely can say when it comes to content in my groups in the past, it's always been too much, right? So why would they buy? Why would they buy? Because they could just come in the group and somebody's going to give it to them all for free. And you're probably doing the same thing, right? In this group alone, prior to May, I was delivering so much content in the group. It was ridiculous. I've totally, completely peeled back on that. Right. And the reality is that the people who get the most of me, even though I feel like I give you guys a lot, I give you a lot of information, I give you a lot of things that you can take and you can put action towards them. My clients get a lot. They get a lot. So if you think this is a lot, imagine what my clients are getting. Imagine the kind of support that they're getting. Right. And so I no longer just give all of that out inside of this group. I give it to the people who have decided to invest in themselves. Does that make sense? Right. And same thing with you, right? Inside of your groups, you need to be strategic about the content that you deliver, and it needs to have a specific purpose, right? So it does not need to be willy-nilly. Like, let's just say you do specialize in the Caribbean, right? One of my clients, she specializes in destination destination weddings in the Caribbean, right? And so her content's going to be Caribbean based, right? That makes sense, but it's still destination weddings. It's not every type of travel to the Caribbean, right? So it's destination weddings. So what kind of content is she going to deliver, right? About how to have an amazing destination wedding in the Caribbean, right? And different places and locations in the Caribbean. Her specialty is not even the Caribbean, it's Jamaica specific, right? So she's going to be talking about resorts, right? So again, the more specific you get, you see how easier it is to determine what it is that you should be talking about, right? So that's number 2. Relate to your people, right? With specific intention and strategically, right? 9 times out of 10, the content that we are taught to deliver or not taught, and because by virtue of not being taught, we just are delivering content, is too much, right? We become a slave to it. I certainly felt like a slave to the content that I was creating, right? And it didn't make me any more money. It didn't make me any more of an authority. And I've completely peeled back, and I don't feel like I'm any less of an authority. It doesn't allow me to sell any less than I did before, and neither will it for you, right? So be strategic. I actually saw an ad, right? Because I am like, I don't even know like the right term, right? But I am like a hoarder of ads, right? So I save people's ads all the time, right? Because that's what I do. I teach ads. I learn from ads and all that. So I saw an ad, and I'm obviously very sensitive to ads that deal with travel professionals, right? So there's an ad that's floating around, and some of you are my friends, and I've seen that you liked it. So you know which ad I'm talking about. It's an ad that has like 400 pieces of social media content, right? And it's beautiful. Like it's got, tips, it's got quotes, it's got this, and it's got that, right? And then when I looked on the site, it's all the same color palette. And I thought to myself, well, that's really nice, right? And it's a great price point. I think it's like, I don't know, $97, $47. I can't remember. It's like 400 pieces of content. It's some ridiculous amount of content. And I thought, you know what? All of my travel professionals, right, they're chomping at the bit on this, and they're thinking, oh my God, I've got all this beautiful content to release. And I think, what the hell do you need with 400 pieces of content for? Why? Why do you need 400 pieces of content? You don't. We're conditioned to believe that we need that much content. We need to be promoting 15 times a day, every single day of the week, 7 times a day. We need to be Instagram, Pinterest. We need to be all these places. Don't get me wrong. I want to be omnipresent and I want to be everywhere, right? But it's strategic. It's strategic about where I'm everywhere. So you see me on Instagram, maybe not Instagram so much, but you do see me on Pinterest and you do see me on YouTube. But all of that content is specific, and all of it leads back here. It all leads back to my group. Same thing with you, right? You don't need 400 pieces of content. You don't need more content. What you need to be is strategic about your content, and it needs to connect to your ideal audience, right? So it needs to connect to that and start to build that relationship, right? So let me know if that makes sense, right? Okay, let me know if that's, I'm going to take a pause and take a sip, and you guys need to let me know if that's all making sense. Because we got the last thing that we do in the strategy is, so let me just talk a little bit about A, right? A was about attracting, right? We need to attract our people around a specific niche, right? That attraction, right? Where do I say you get that traffic? Where are your people? Well, the people are in Facebook, right? So we're attracting people that are our ideal client, right? Around a specific niche through Facebook ads. So like, if you're like, well, how do I attract? Well, we're doing it through Facebook ads, right? We're doing it around Facebook ads, but we're also doing it around a specific niche, right? So you can't miss the nuances that are in there, right? Don't think, oh, I got it. I need to attract the right. I'm going to go create myself a Facebook group, and now I'm going to have a niche. And then you're going to say, oh, shit, this doesn't work. Sunday doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, I created a Facebook group, and nobody's coming, right? That's the same thing about you creating that's the same thing around you creating a website and nobody comes. If you're not driving traffic to it, how will people find it? All right. So I don't want you to go back to your rooms and say, I did what she said and she doesn't know what she's talking about, right? Because the reality is you build it and they do not come. You have to drive traffic to it. So don't forget that little sort of bonus in there. So I'm throwing that little bonus secret in there. You cannot build something and not drive traffic to it. We talked about this last week or the week before. You got to drive traffic to it. So our traffic mechanism is Facebook, and we get people to our group through ads. All right, so somebody asked a question. So is it okay for your page and your group to have different names? Yes, I think so. I think so. All right, so you guys ready for number 3? Number 3, say convert. Right, say convert. That is number 3. You need to convert the interest that you build up inside of your group into sales, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, you have to offer. You have to offer something, right? So you have to offer something. You have to create a promotion. You have to create a promotion, and you do that also strategically inside of your group. So you create a promotion, right? Not every week, not every day, right? You create something that gives them a reason to buy, right? So you have an offer and you give them a reason to buy, and you do it strategically. So simply, all that you were doing inside of your group is creating a reason to buy, right? And that can be your service, that can be a package, that can be a product, whatever it may be. But you then do a promotion inside of your group. So I used to do a challenge. I haven't done this challenge in about 2 years. It's been about a year. I think I did it last January, not this past January, but January 2019, because we're in 2020. And the name of the challenge is all around, like, are you ready to launch? And in that challenge, one of the days is about promoting, right? One of the days is about defining an offer and then promoting it. And that is what you guys are not doing. You guys are throwing together packages, but you have no promotion cycle around it. You don't have any way really to build up sort of this desire for it and then release it and then sort of keep that party going, right? That's sort of my party method is that you just release and then you say it didn't work, right? You put together a package, you post it on your personal page, maybe you post it in a couple of groups, and then you're like, I really tried. I really, 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 really tried. And the reality is you really, really didn't, because you didn't know what you were doing. But just posting it a couple of times is not really a promotion cycle, right? Again, advertisers, marketers spend thousands of dollars, repetition in the cycle of saying the same thing over and over and over again for people to buy their product, right? We've done it 1 or 2 times and we're like, it's a failure. You haven't done anything. You've not invested any money. You posted it a couple of times. And the reality is that businesses fail because people don't know who they are, right? You don't have enough exposure, right, enough people that know, like, and trust you to buy. So your group is a perfect storm to create that sort of pent up desire for whatever it is that you sell or offer, right? And I'm talking about services, your services, like, so my wedding destination client, her service is her wedding services, right? The fact that she can put together and she becomes the go-to person for wedding planning for destinations, right? So she's got a nice little fee that she charges for that. And that's what she can promote. She doesn't even have to promote a package. She can promote her service. Same thing with you, right? You don't have an offer, nor do you create a promotion or a party. Like, and I in that challenge, I call it a party, and it really is a party, right? What do we do when we get ready to plan a party, right? We don't tell somebody the night before, unless, you're like throwing a spare of the moment party. But normally we throw a party. We give people advance notice. We let them know how hype it's going to be, right? We send out save the date cards. We send out promotion, right? Then we're talking about it all this time, right? But we don't run our own promotions that way. We don't run our promotions like it's a party. You run them 1 day, 2 days, and you're like, nobody bought. Or you did it a couple of times and nobody bought. Run your promotions like a party, like you're about to have a party and you want it to be the biggest and best party. So what do? You get yourself a DJ, you invest in the DJ, right? We invest so much money on planning a party and invest $0 in promoting something that's going to make us money. These parties that we promote don't even make us money 9 times out of 10, but we invest time, money. Like, I know people who get all these party favors together, spending hours and hours putting them together. They're doing all this work. They've sent out invitation cards. They've done all this, but you treat your own business promotions like it's not a party, and you don't do anything in the preparation for it, or even letting people know in advance about it, and then keeping them revved up about the party. And then when you get ready to drop the party, you're like, nobody was there. Your group becomes your party location. Does that make sense? I just thought of that. Like, just your group is your party location for your promotions, right? That's like my new saying now. I just thought of your group will become your party location for your promotions, right? But what do? Right? You got a bunch of strangers in your group. You don't just start partying, right? You get to know each other, right? You make sure you understand what kind of music they like. You make sure you understand what they like and what they don't. So you have the right food, the right music, you got everything, right? Same thing with your promotions, right? You get to know the people that are inside of your group, right? You relate to them. You get to know what their likes and their dislikes. And then you drop packages that are exactly going to be what they want because you already know. Does that make sense? Like, I'm going to start using that. So your group is your party promotion location, right? So we want to grow groups so that we can have parties in them with our promotions, right? I'm going to figure out some way to sloganize that so that it becomes, I'm going to acronym it, and that you guys are going to get it, right? I want you to think of your group as that, right? This is where I come to party with you guys every Wednesday night. Do you guys feel like it's a party? If you don't, you should. I need to do a better job because I spend a lot of time promoting this party here on Wednesdays. Do you guys feel like that? Like, do you feel like that? Right? Do you feel like you get a lot of notice when it comes to this event that happens? Right? So the people who are with me, who come every week, like, do you feel like you don't know that this is going down? Like, do you feel like you know it's going down? Let me know in the comments. Like, let me know if you feel like you get enough information to remind you that this Wednesday night event happens. And I know there's a bit of a lag, so I'm gonna just let that marinate and let me know. Yeah, so Veronica says after hearing a commercial 1,000 times, that's how, it finally registers. And then you remember parts of the commercial. Exactly. That's the whole thing of marketing. That is the reason why the repetition, because we as humans, we got a lot of things going and we got a lot of information coming at us, right? And we are now engineered to be like ADHD just because of the sheer volume of information that comes at us on a daily, minute by basis, right? I mean, it's so much. So how is it supposed to stick unless you are in the face of your ideal client, reminding them, talking about it, right? You can, if it sounds like you're talking about it too much, it's probably still not enough. And that's what your Facebook group will allow you to do, is to get your message in front of your ideal client in a concentrated form. And again, I'm not talking about all you're going to be doing is selling to them 100% of the time, but you get to pour into them your message, and they get to hear it and see it, and they get to dial into it if you do it right. Right? And so somebody says, this is my first one and I felt in the loop the whole way. That's intentional, Havian. That's intentional, right? I want my new members who just joined me, who know nothing about me, to know that every Wednesday night I'm here, and I want you to feel like I have touched you. My entire team's whole idea is to ensure that new members get touched multiple times by people in my team, right? So if I don't touch you and I miss you, somebody else on my team is going to touch you, right? Somebody else is going to reach out to you, right? I want to make sure on the welcome in, you are welcomed, right? I'm going to respond to you inside of this group as much as I possibly. You tag my name, I'm on it, right? Right? I come here every week so that you can hear my voice, you can understand what I've got. And this is like the highlight of my week, right? Because I get to talk to all of you guys who are experiencing and telling me what's going on in your businesses. And I get to be the one that listens and understands and sees what's hot that you want to talk about. That monetizing your Facebook group, I'm telling you, is hot. I'm telling you, a competitor is in my inbox selling a program just like that. And that's exactly what our program does. I often wonder if she's got a mole in here. It doesn't matter. Competition is great, right? I don't care how many other programs, business coaches you see who specialize in travel professionals like I do, right? I don't have any fear for competition, because you either like me or you don't, right? You've either experienced what I have to offer or you want to. And when you do, it is my hope that you will never go anywhere else, because I'm going to give you the bomb.com service, right? Right? So what I'm going to tell you is this, that you're going to see people all over, right, talk about Facebook groups. Like I guess now, since it's on the forefront of my mind, it's a forefront of our product, right? I'm definitely more sensitive. So I see a lot of ads about Facebook groups. I see a lot of, in my news feed, I see a lot of ads. I've seen stuff on YouTube. I've seen stuff on Facebook. I've seen stuff in stories. I've seen them all over, right? So Facebook is a hot topic. What's the difference between what I offer and what somebody else offers? I can't speak because I don't know what everybody else is offering, but I can tell you what I'm offering. I can tell you that the three things that I just talked about in terms of building your Facebook group takes not only just these three steps, right? It takes a lot more than that, right? It takes systems, it takes processes, it's understanding the psychology of your clients, right? Catering to them, delivering to them what they need just in time, right? And all of that is not something that all of us just know. I didn't know it coming into this space. It was something I had to learn. It was something that I had to invest in my business and in myself to get to the space that I'm at, right? So now I'm equipped to be able to train you all on what I've learned and how to apply it strategically to your travel business. I can guarantee you there is no one in the space teaching what I'm teaching for travel professionals. They may be teaching it generally. They may be teaching it for coaches who are online coaches. They may be teaching. There is no one in the space teaching what I teach for travel professionals. No one. And there's no one. I can guarantee you that, because I know who my competitors are and I know what they're teaching. I might not know the specifics of their program, but I know the specifics of my program. And I can tell you, even last year when I was teaching sales funnels, nobody was teaching that last year for travel professionals. What they're teaching you is to throw up on your personal page. What they're teaching you is to throw up in other people's business, in other people's groups, and potentially going into your own group and throwing up in your own group. Nobody's teaching you strategy. Nobody's teaching you Facebook ads. Nobody's teaching you how to be effective in your dollar spend and in your time spend, right? Because 99% of you have full-time jobs, right? So you're doing this as your side hustle, right? I don't like that term, but the reality is that you're doing it on the side, right? It's a lot of you are doing it in the midnight hour, and I'm talking COVID aside, right? Because COVID, we're kind of down, and people are probably not working it like they were, right? But there are a lot of people who are doing this part time, right? Wee hours a night, taking quotes, trying to get everything filled out. You don't have processes, right? People are wasting your time, and you have no idea if they're going to buy or not, right? You're inside of your group, trying to figure out what you should post, how much you should post, when you should post. Is it the right thing to post? And it's still not making you any money, right? Nobody's teaching you how to really stop wasting your time, how to build systems that are really going to be effective, that are going to get people in your group that are of the caliber that you want, not tire kickers, right? So I don't have a fear about competition because nobody's going to do it like Sunday does it, right? So I'm not concerned that, I need to try and outbest somebody else, right? Anybody who is delivering whatever they're delivering out there, I have no fear that I am in competition and that I need to try and do something different to appease what some competitor is doing, because I know that my program is one of a kind. And so the reality becomes, what is it that you need in your business? What is it that you need and want to change in your business so that you're not doing all of these wasteful activities? You're not wasting your time in other people's groups. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that there is strategy in being in other people's groups, but it's one, being in the right group. So if you're in that women's entrepreneur group, get out of it immediately. Like, get out of it. Stop wasting your time in that group, because the women in that group are not wanting to buy from you. They're looking for the cheapest travel agent that man can find, woman can find, right? Because it's women entrepreneurs. Get out of that group. That is not your group. What you need to be doing is identifying your niche and finding niche groups that you can be in where your ideal client is, right? So if I specialize in wine travel, river cruising, right, to Europe, and I wanted to get wine lovers, I join a wine group, right? That's what I do. I'd be in a group around my niche. So if I'm going to be in someone else's group, it's going to be around my niche. So, I'm in travel agents groups, right? Because what is my niche? Travel professionals, right? So are you guys getting the strategy here? Is this helping you guys connect the dots? Let me know in the comments. Is this helping you guys connect the dots and see kind of where there may be some disconnects with what people are telling you and what they should be doing? Nobody's teaching people from a ad spend perspective. People are probably telling you what you need to do is you need to spend. If you are going to do anything, you need to boost your promotion, right? And you may get some clicks on your promotion, right? And you may even get some buys, but you can't scale it and you can't determine how much money you really are going to make by that spend. You can boost something for $100 and you won't know if 1%, 10%, 3%, 5%, 20% of the people are going to buy, right? Because boosting is not intended for buyers. Boosting is intended for likes. I want you to keep that. If there's anything you learn in today's lesson, is boosting. When you boost a post, it is only intended for you to get likes and engagement. People that will comment, it will be for likes. They'll like it. Maybe they'll like your page. It's not for conversions. It's not for people to buy, right? You got to get in the deep crevices of Facebook ads, get frustrated as hell. Now, let me tell you this. If you're ready to jump and you're ready to really take your business to the next level, you got to be prepared to get frustrated with Facebook ads, because that's what's going to happen, right? I'm hopefully going to lead you, through that frustration. But Facebook ads is a frustrating beast, right? They change shit every freaking week. Right. Okay. I put that aside. But the point is that, you want to get to the next level. It's not going to happen in a $97 class, because there's no way I can teach you everything that I know in a 2-hour class. I can barely teach you everything I know in a program, but I certainly can't teach you it all in a $97 class. Right? I can't teach you it all in 2 hours. Right? So what I will tell you is this. I used to do master classes last year. I sold a lot of master classes last year. And what I found is that they were ineffective. And let me tell you why they are ineffective. It's because it's small bits of information with the inability for you really to get support that you need when you have questions and direction when you get off course, right? So this is the reason why I have a program, right? Because I can also give you more information and then give you the opportunity to implement that information and then get the guidance and support that you need to get you back on course. When something didn't register right, you misinterpreted it incorrectly, or you didn't understand it and you need to know what the hell it meant, right? So that's what Travel Passions to Profit is. It is not $97. So I want to just be super clear. It is not a $97 product. It is a full program intended to make a shift, not only from a mindset perspective, but from an action perspective. What you are currently doing in your business for marketing, you already know it's not working, right? You already know that what you're doing today is not fitting the bill, right? And I'm talking COVID aside, because some people will come in the group and they'll say, I ask everybody, what's their major struggle? And they'll tell me, oh, it's COVID. And then I'm like, okay, well, COVID aside, were you like happy? Were you making the money you wanted? Were you getting the clients you wanted? And they'll say no. So COVID's not really the problem, right? There was a problem before that. So if you actually take a look at what the problem is in your business, it's probably what you really know it is that you don't have a way to attract clients. And if you do have a way to attract clients, it's not repeatable and it's not consistent. I made a funny joke a couple of weeks ago when I said, a lot of you rely on your friends and family and they're not reliable. And they're not, right? That's not scalable. Your friends and family are not going to get you to six figures because you don't have enough of them. And they're not reliable. You can't say, okay, I've got 100 friends and this is going to then equal to $10,000 because you don't know if they're going to buy or not, right? But I can run ads and reach, 100,000 people. And just based on standard numbers can tell you how many people will opt in, right, into my ad. And then based on standard numbers, I can tell you how many I can convert into paying clients, right? And then based on that, I can tell you how much money I'm going to make. And then if I invest the dollars that it's going to do that, I'm probably going to be within I'm going to even say 5% error rate, right? Let's even say as high as 10%. If I'm 10% wrong, that means I'm 90% right based on numbers. Advertising and marketing is a numbers game. As long as you understand who your client is, you get the right offer. Advertising and marketing is a numbers game. So if you're ready to play with the numbers and you're ready to learn it right, what I want you to do is write ARC and I will reach out to you. So be very clear about how this works because every week, I want to be even clearer than I was last week, right? Because we got new people, we got old people, we got everybody, right? What I mean by write ARC is when you're ready for me to reach out to you, to talk to you about your business and see if the program that we've got will work for you. It's Travel Passions to Profit, right? And it is about building you an attraction system, building you a Facebook group that is going to make you money, right? Is going to attract your ideal client into it, teach you how to relate to them and how to ultimately convert, teach you how to have the proper party, right? Teach you how to properly promote your party, right? So you get people there, right? Dancing to whatever move you want them to dance to, right? So that's really what it means is so write ARC, A-R-C, if you are ready for me to reach out to you. We'll talk about where your business is. We'll talk about what's going on in your business, and I'll talk to you about if it's the right fit or not, right? It's not a right fit for everybody. It's not, everybody's not ready, right? And that's okay. So you have to write ARC for me to know to reach out to you, okay? ARC, which means attract, relate, and convert. That is my secret. Now, I wrote down these sort of bonus secrets, right? So out of the ARC system, right, which is the process really that we follow inside of monetizing your group, right, is the secret is Facebook ads, right? So you get ARC, but you also get the traffic part, right, which is learning how to run ads so that you drive traffic to your group, right, and you get those leads. And then the other secret, it's around a specific niche, right? So I'm like, okay, I wrote these secrets. I want to make sure I say it, right? So ARC, right? Attract, relate, and convert. That is the secret to monetizing your Facebook group, doing it strategically around a specific niche, right? Okay, so are you guys excited? Are you excited to take your businesses to the next level? Are you excited, right? And some people are like, but I had a couple of clients last week that sort of bummed me out, right? And they were prospective people. They were like, I'm ready. And then they said, but COVID, people are not ready to travel, right? And then I kindly said this. It's September, right? If you've been in this business and you didn't just start, let me tell you, September, you should be planning for summer 2021. Right now in the fall, we're planning for 2021 summer vacations, right? We're not in the business where we make money today, right? We are planning for future, right, trips that are 12 to 18 months out, right? So September People are planning summer, they're planning fall, and some of them are even planning end of 2021. We are almost to the point that we should start planning 2022 vacations, right? So this is the time. Now, what do I think about COVID? I haven't really given my opinion, but the reality is I think that we will start traveling probably in spring, late spring, summertime. That's my prediction. I'm no Nostradamus, so I don't know if that's going to be valid or not, right? But I think generally, we're starting to plan for our annual summer trip right now. But that's kind of my prediction is that I don't know that I think things are going to be cleared up internationally for us to travel. And again, I think our president election is going to make a big difference in that. So I think all eyes across the world are waiting for us to get through November. And then once November hits, I think then things will really start to take shape. So if we still have who we have, then, we may never travel. No, just kidding. That was not nice. We may never travel. But the point is that I think our election, all the world is waiting for our election. And I think virus-wise, I think summer is when I think that we will actually start to travel. That's my opinion. So even that being said, we don't normally make money like from travel that's happening tomorrow. We make money from travel that we booked 6 to 12 months out, right? So if you're sitting on your arses, your arse right now, and you're not planning your summer trips and you don't have an idea of what your summer promotions are that you're selling now, let's just say travel were to be open, are you even ready? Like, let's say it opens up next month and everything magically opened up in the next 2 months. Are you ready? Probably not, right? You probably don't have a group that's engaged. You don't have a way to attract people. And then you're scrambling to go. Then you're back to throwing up on your personal page. You're back to throwing up in the women's entrepreneur group. I should not talk that group. I'm not saying anything there's wrong with that group. I'm just saying your ideal client is in that group, but she's not looking for what you got. She's looking for a bargain. She's looking to shop you, waste your time on quotes. Right? Find your niche and find a group around your niche. Women entrepreneurs, not that group. Anyway, I say all that to say is if you're ready, let me know. I'm super, super excited that you guys joined me this week. This is such a great topic for me. I've been doing groups, like I said, for the longest. They have been the icing to my business. I've gotten to meet so many amazing business professionals in each group that I've grown. This to me is my longest baby. I've had this group the longest out of the groups that I've been in the space. I love all of you all. I love working with you all, the ones that are my clients, the ones that are my prospectives, the people that reach out to me. I truly enjoy what I do, and I enjoy working with each of you. So for those that have replied, Art, I will be reaching out to you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Look for a message from me, either personal or on my business page. Personal, want to make sure you check your message request and you're looking from a message from Sunday Gardner, Online Travel Boss. Now, if you join me, thanks for joining. I will be back here next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking about all things launching, operating, and marketing a successful travel business. It was my pleasure to be here with you all tonight. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon.